Yo guys, what's poppin'? It's your boy here, and we are back for some more Fae. Just woke up this morning and we got an update notification, so quite a bit of juicy details in here, so let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, first things first, Arena mode is going to be updated. So they're adding two tactical retreats now. Before we only had one of them, and I guess that makes sense because in Arena Assault Plus you're allowed to use the tactical retreat twice. So I guess they thought, alright, we screwed you guys over enough with Duo Crom and Pathfinder on Duo Dagger and all the nonsense that we got to deal with now in Arena. So two tactical retreats, I'll take it for sure in Arena. Definitely going to make the experience a lot less stressful. Okay, then we also have, in Summoner Duels S, we're getting this update here. So, on the selection screen, after you veto two of the foe's teams and they have to pick one to use, it will display which two teams they have left available to them, making it easier for you to choose which team you want to use to counter them. So I guess just a nice little feature if you didn't have memorized which teams you vetoed on the veto screen, so you know, like, you get a better idea of what kind of team you want to go with yourself. I don't really think this update is going to be that big of a deal, but it's just there for convenience sake, so certainly I guess that's good for everybody. Now, me personally, I think I've revealed my strategy already in Summoner Duels S. I just run the exact same team 4 different ways. So, as we see here with the screen, this guy's got on the very bottom, he has Brave Hector. And he's also got a Legendary Tiki on the first team there. I would take it a step further and run 2 more save units on Team 2 and 3. Like Ascended Fiorm and the Nagi, for example. And then I would just, like, build my team around them pretty much. So, I have Summoner Duels S down to a science, and it's not very fun. Game is very stale and stagnant, so I actually prefer Summoner Duels R at this point. But that's besides the point. Let's keep going on. Alright, we're getting updates to 2 of the Captain Seals, so Erosion and Effulgence. I guess that makes sense because not all of the Captain Seals see play. So they try to make some balance patches, I guess you could say, to some of the weaker ones. So before Erosion, when a foe's Savior skill triggers, inflicts defensive res -4 on that foe during combat, and that foe cannot counterattack. And the new update to Erosion is when your captain is in combat, foe's Savior skills will not trigger. That is massive, dude. That is a huge game changer. Also, when a foe's Savior skill triggers, inflicts defensive res -4 on that foe during combat, and that foe cannot counterattack. I'm not entirely sure why that is even there, because what's the point of them getting defensive res -4 when triggering a save skill if their save skill can't even trigger in the first place, right? So, very interesting stuff. Maybe that's for, like, when your captain is not the one in combat. So, if you have the Erosion Seal equipped and someone else on your team besides the captain attacks, that's when defensive res -4 will trigger and foe can't counterattack. But this seems besides the point. Stopping save skills will be a massive deal in Summoner Duels. And can you imagine Yuri just running rampant now because you're not going to be able to block him? So they really, really want you to focus on Kanto control now if you want to try to stop Yuri from being such an annoying asswipe. So that's always fun, right? Alright, then we got Effulgence. Is before it was grants attack and speed +4 and neutralizes penalties to allies in 2 spaces of your captain during combat. And now what it does is grants attack and speed up 4 and neutralizes penalties to your captain and allies in 2 spaces of your captain during combat. So a nice little supportive buff there. You nullify penalties to allies in 2 spaces. Not always going to be useful because certain allies want to have penalties on them. Like in the instance where you're running unity skills or things of that nature. But for the most part, units will definitely enjoy having no penalties active. So I guess it's better than nothing, right? But the Erosion Seal, from what I can tell, got the biggest glow up of all. Alright, let's keep going here. So these captain skills will be, with their new effects, will be available in the starting season from 5.10. Speaking of 5.10, that's also going to be when we get the actual release of the Fallen Heroes banner for this year. I'm predicting the trailer is probably going to be a day or 2 before that, so on the night of 5.8 is where we'll get the trailer. and then on 510 is when we'll actually get the banner. So, okay, there's going to be a Summoner Duels season starting as the same time as we get the banner. They're adding more favor level, up to 1900 now. I have still not even gotten up to 1500 from the first time they raised the cap. So, it just goes to show, I don't play Summoner Duels unless I need to for a season for ranking. Like, just playing it off the cuff for fun. I mean, it's not that I don't want to, I just play so many other gachas that it's kind of impossible to find the time to do it. So, just my take, but very nice for people that care about favor and they like to rank up with their favorites. Alright, also the game will try to reconnect automatically if connection is broken in the middle of a match. That is helpful if your opponent is disconnecting, of course, and trying to cheat. So, very good update there. Okay, so we're finally getting the next Legendary Hero, or Mythic Hero remix in this case. And it's going to be for Duma. So, pretty exciting. Let's see what they gave to our boy. So, his A skill is now going to be Fury 4. Very interesting choice. I believe his A skill prior to this was Defense and Res Solo 3. So, a very far off ways from Defense and Res Solo 3, giving him Fury 4, but we'll definitely take it. Fury 4 is like the bread and butter A skill, I guess you could say. Giving all stats plus 4 is certainly helpful. And Upheaval Plus, this is where things are going to get exciting. Can you imagine if it pops their... Imagine if Upheaval gains the ability to pop their escape ladder. That would just be insidious. But I think that would be kind of funny too. Alright, let's see what it does. So, at the start of turn 1, deals 10 damage to all foes. And if defending in Aether Raids during Anima Season, destroys nearest offensive structure. Those not affected, or does not affect structures that cannot be destroyed. Okay, so it's not going to destroy the escape ladder automatically, but it destroys the nearest offensive structure. So even if he's not lined up in the same column as a structure, like if it's an empty target space, then it's going to target the nearest one next to it. And I'm guessing if there's 2 structures next to the empty space, he's probably going to pop both of them. Because it doesn't really specify here whether it's 1 or 2. So, possibly popping 2 structures with Duma now. That's certainly useful. I would have liked it more if it was he just destroys all structures within 3 columns centered on him. So you could just wipe out their safety fence and whatever else they may be trying to cook up to stop you. Okay, also at the start of combat, if unit's attack is better than foe's attack, or if foe's health is not full, neutralizes foe's bonuses during combat. I was also one of the hopeful people thinking they might have gave him a save skill. But it's good enough. I think popping structures and doing the chip damage with Upheaval is what you wanted out of Duma anyway. So, certainly going to help him out. Not quite as good as it could have been, but we still have to wait to see what his weaponry find is going to be. So, let's hold off judgment until then. Alright, we're getting more Memento events in Hero's Journey. This mode has... This mode, man, it's just there to occupy time, I guess. There's not really much to it, but the animations, I just love them, so more of that is always welcome. Alright, more combat manuals. This time we're getting Ephemera Codes 5, and these are going to be the manuals we get. So the Valentine, or Bride Pent, I believe that is. Well, I guess not Bride, but the Husbando Pent is going to be added. He's pretty good. He has a copy of Pulse Smoke, which I think is one of the better skills to run for Summoner Duels. So that's going to be a nice one. We're also getting Raphael, the Groom Raphael. Would have been nice if we could convert these combat manuals into units to use, because I don't have a copy of that Raphael, and I'd totally love to get him, because his support effect with infantry allies, if you give him infantry pulse and his weapon effect, he can possibly do -2 special trigger at the start of turn 1 to whoever he supports. So Raphael is a pretty solid unit, but as far as fodder is concerned, I don't really think he had anything worthwhile. So not the best manual, but certainly nice to talk about that unit again. Then for the 4-star manuals, we've got Benny, we got Reposition Man, we got Nana, we got Soth, and then we have Ninja Shamir at last. I know a lot of people were trying to build her as a merge project. So if you went to +9, this is going to be the last copy you need to get her +10. So very good stuff. She is a very good merge project. Okay, we move on down here, and these are going to be the units getting the refines in this batch. And it looks like Dragon City, because we have Duma and Idun both getting refines here. Idun is a very interesting one. She makes a very good far save unit, or near save, whichever you want to give her. She's just quite good. Her weapon effect is, I believe it's all stats up 4, and it nullifies any of her penalties. And I think it might also have -1 special trigger. I don't remember. It's been quite a while since I've looked at this Idun. But currently we also have Ascended Idun in the game, who is basically on par with Brave Hector. So if they do anything anywhere near that for this Idun, and just make her Brave Hector 3 Electric Boogaloo, then I guess that's going to be something for sure. Alright, we're also getting Thea as a 4-star possible unit with the weapon refine, so Thea could be interesting. We saw with Shigure they actually gave him some interesting stuff. So Thea could turn out pretty interesting herself. We have the Picnic Flora, or is that Felicia? I can't remember if that's Flora or Felicia. Forgive me, I've never played Fates, but she's the one that can't cook, and she's very clumsy. So, gonna be interesting to see her. I believe she's the one that gets the effective against beast weapon. So, actually, the Picnic banner is up right now. We can quickly take a look at what her weapon does. Okay, so it's Felicia. It's not Flora. My bad, guys. So, her weapon was effective against beast, grants speed up 3, and at the start of combat, if her res is better than the foe's res, reduces foe's attack and speed by 50% of the difference between stats with a maximum penalty of -8. And her base res is only 35. That might have been good during the time she came out, but nowadays there's units with like 43 res and up. So what they would need to do here is probably take out the stat check and just do attack and speed -8 to the foe during combat. She's already a melee armored unit, so that puts her at a bit of a disadvantage. She's competing with the Valentine Lucina, who's just way better. So they're going to have to give her a massive glow up. All right, let's get back to the refine section, see who else is getting them. All right, we have one for Caden, which is pretty cool. Caden's actually a very good support unit. He just reflects any of the stat bonuses that he has active on himself to any allies in 2 spaces. So if you got him to +6 to all stats with Hatari Azura, as well as all your other units basically, you can just have him stand there menacingly, granting support to your allies, and that's going to be very helpful. So, can't wait to see what his refine does. And finally, we have Imhulu Man, Garneth himself, getting a refine. Seeing what they've been doing with some of these recent tome heroes like Reeve and Hilda and so on, I think we can expect pretty good things from him. His weapon effect, I believe it was similar to the Fallen Takumi, where he does a whole bunch of chip damage and inflicts flash on the foes that are in 3 columns centered on him. It's something like that. It might be a little bit different. I don't remember off top, but it's something along those lines. And if they just fix the turn count on that or make it more applicable in Summoner Duels, I could totally see him just being a beast to run. So certainly another refine we can look forward to. All right, Aether Raids is being updated. We're getting a Bolt Tower level 9 upgrade. That's convenient they do that after they unleashed On Guard, right? So, yeah, now we can get a level 9 Bolt Tower when it's already too late. Alright, in Aether Resorts, we're getting 2 new songs to the concert hall. Battle Advance from Thracia and Advance from Sacred Stones. I don't remember which tracks those were, but okay. Hopefully the Sacred Stones one isn't Bit Crush, because they have this problem with a lot of the GBA music when they add it. They have to like convert the old MIDI files into MP3s, and it doesn't really work. So, I don't know. They always sound really Bit Crush for some reason. Alright, then Mjolnir Strike is being upgraded. That's... who the hell cares? Alright, then additional heroes to the Heroic Grails. So, we're getting Luthier from Spring. Bunny Luthier, in other words. And Salem, going to be added to the Grail shop. Pretty good. More options for us to +10. If you've got the Grails to do it and you like those guys. So, certainly some nice stuff there. I was more hopeful we'd get Boyd or one of the other recent ones that I'm trying to build to +10. Boyd should be... actually, Boyd is a ways off, I believe, because we literally just got Boyd. So he might not be for another couple of updates, but I'm very much looking forward to him. All right, and then other changes. A portion of the graphics for desert maps will be improved. Okay. I don't know what that means yet. We'll find out when we find out, I guess. So that's going to wrap us up for the coverage here. Let me know in the comments, which one of these refines are you looking forward to the most? I think for me, I got to go with Idun, because I have her at +3 or +4 right now. So if they give her something juicy, I'm certainly going to be happy to start using her again. Also, let me know what you think about Duma's remix to Upheaval Plus, and what do you think about these new upgrades to the Captain Seals, particularly Erosion, because that's going to shake up the meta for sure. No more save skills. Oh boy, get ready to get crushed by Yuri if you didn't summon for Medeus.